Good morning. I'm Kara Rucker in for Craig Negrelli. It's Wednesday, September 18th, 2024, and these are your unbiased updates. Hezbollah blaming Israel after pagers used by the militant group exploded, killing at least 9 people and injuring thousands. We have the latest. And Donald Trump holding his first campaign event since the second apparent assassination attempt on his life. We'll show you what the former president had to say about the incident.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
Thank you for joining us. We begin with the deadly explosions in Lebanon that killed at least 9 people and left nearly 3,000 injured. Explosives inside pagers used by the militant group Hezbollah were set off around 3:30 p.m. Tuesday. The blast occurring in areas where Hezbollah had a strong presence, including a southern Beirut suburb. The Iran-backed group blaming Israel for the attack, saying an 8-year-old was among those killed and Iran's envoy to Beirut was among the injured. Sources telling Reuters Israel's spy agency had planted the explosives inside the 5,000 pagers. An American source and other officials confirming to the New York Times that Israel was behind the operation. The Israeli military has declined to comment. The pagers appeared to be from Taiwan-based Gold Apollo, but in a statement today, Gold Apollo said they were manufactured by another company based in Budapest that was authorized to use Gold Apollo's brand. Hezbollah fighters have been using pagers in an attempt to bypass Israeli location tracking following a warning by group leaders earlier this year saying cell phones were more dangerous than Israeli spies. Hezbollah has vowed to retaliate against Israel. Hezbollah and Israel have been exchanging strikes shortly after Hamas's deadly terrorist attack on Israel on October 7th of last year. The blasts add to the growing concern over a larger war in the Middle East. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will be in Egypt today to work on securing a ceasefire agreement to put an end to the conflict between Israel and Hamas and see the release of the hostages who remain in Gaza. Former President Donald Trump was back on the campaign trail yesterday, holding his first event since the second attempt on his life over the weekend. During a town hall in Flint, Michigan, Trump told Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders the assassination attempts are proof his policy proposals are powerful.
It's a dangerous business, however, being president. It's a little bit dangerous. It's, they think race car driving is dangerous. No. They think bull riding, that's pretty scary, right? No. This is a dangerous business, and we have to keep it safe. Only consequential presidents get shot at.
Trump also said both President Joe Biden and his opponent in the 2024 presidential race, Vice President Kamala Harris, called him after the assassination attempt, saying it was very nice and he appreciated it. Harris was on the campaign trail yesterday as well. She touched on the assassination attempt during a National Association of Black Journalists panel in Philadelphia, highlighting the bigger issues of gun violence, racism, and bigotry in America.
Not everybody has Secret Service. And there are far too many people in our country right now who are not feeling safe. I mean, I look at Project 2025 and I look at, like the Don't Say Gay laws coming out of Florida. Members of the LGBTQ community don't feel safe right now. Immigrants or people with an immigrant background don't feel safe right now.
Both candidates are focusing on swing areas that could decide the election, which is expected to be a close one. Trump is set to campaign in New York, Washington, D.C., and North Carolina this week. Harris will also stop in Washington as well as Michigan and Wisconsin in the coming days. House Speaker Mike Johnson is expected to put his short-term spending plan up for a vote today, though there are signs it will not get the GOP support needed to pass. Johnson previously pulled a stopgap bill that was coupled with the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections, after it became clear it was unlikely to get enough Republican approval to pass. House Democrats also opposed the plan, which would keep the government funded through most of March. Congress has until the end of September to pass at least a temporary measure keeping the government open. Otherwise, a shutdown looms October 1st. Today, the Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates for the first time since 2020. But by how much? Our business correspondent Simone Del Rosario takes a closer look.
Good morning. It's decision day at the Federal Reserve, and we are almost certainly getting the first interest rate cut of the year. Inflation is close to 2%, unemployment is starting to rise, and the Fed says now is the time for policy to adjust. The big question is, will the Fed cut by 1/4 percentage point or 1/2 percentage point, 25 or 50 basis points? Economists are largely in that 25 basis point camp. It's modest, it's measured, it's a standard rate cut. But the markets are betting the Fed will be more aggressive today and go for 50 basis points. Now, the high range of the Fed's interest rate has been at 5.5% for more than a year now, and that's the highest this rate has been since early 2001. Lowering this rate will ripple throughout consumer borrowing, bringing down mortgage rates, auto loan rates, and credit card interest rates. To get the Fed's decision as it comes down, subscribe to the Straight Arrow News YouTube page. I'll be reporting live at 2:10 Eastern Time. So join me and my guest as we bring you the final decision, talk about what it means, and you'll also hear straight from Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
You can find Simone's full preview of today's announcement on our website, san.com, and on the Straight Arrow News mobile app. Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail and will remain in custody as he faces serious charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs will be held by himself at a special housing unit in a detention center in Brooklyn. In a federal courtroom in New York City on Tuesday, Combs pleaded not guilty to the charges he's facing. Prosecutors allege that Combs used his business empire to force women into engaging in sexual acts with professional sex workers and himself. The indictment alleges Combs has been involved in a list of criminal activities from 2008 to present day. Prosecutors allege that in late 2023, following public accusations of these crimes, Combs and his associates attempted to pressure victims into silence through bribery. If convicted on all charges, Combs faces decades in prison. Finally this morning, Billie Jean King, the Tennis Hall of Famer, is being recognized with a prestigious Congressional Gold Medal for her efforts on and off the tennis court. The measure had already passed the Senate and on Tuesday night passed the House, making Billie Jean King the first individual female athlete to ever receive the congressional honor.
Mr. Speaker, it is time to enshrine Billie Jean King's legacy as not only a champion of tennis, but a champion of equality whose impact will continue to inspire women and girls and people across America and across the world.
After receiving the news that she will now receive the Congressional Gold Medal, Billie Jean King took to X to say she is deeply humbled and honored to have received the award. These are your unbiased updates for this Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.